Hey y'all. So I came across some messages for myself recently through some help from friends, some energy work that I had done recently that helped guide me to this understanding about myself. And it's something I feel very guided to share with you. So, you hear in the spiritual community that we are reflections of our environment around us. As within, so without. The things that you feel and think about yourself on the inside is things that present themselves on the outside around you in the world that you live, whether it be relationships, work, the world itself. It's always as within, so without. I don't want to talk so much about that terminology as I do about the importance of knowing yourself, the importance of taking things that go on in your world around you or that trigger you and reflect that back to what you got going on inside of you. And the reason I say that is because there was a trigger that I had around speaking. And it was affecting my throat chakra. It was blocking it. And the message that was given to me was that I didn't want to see what I had to say. I didn't want to hear myself. And I thought, what the heck, and it wasn't around like people per se, it was around me. So what the message was basically is that I struggle often and have throughout my life with communicating how I feel and people hearing me without them coming over and dominating the conversation or dismissing what I say or talking over me or me feeling the frustration, the shame, or the hurriedness from them whenever I was trying to talk. And so because of these things, I didn't want to hear myself. And because I would see and hear other people communicate in such a beautiful way, being able to quickly pick up on and use, big words and sound so smart and flow with the way that they spoke and communicated. I envied that and was jealous of it because I didn't feel like I had it. And so in turn, because I felt that way, I couldn't like the way that I talked. And that reflection reflected out and was being proven to me through these conversations with people and the way that all these other people would speak, and I would admire and want to be the same way. And there's a few different messages here. One was about that and really truly honoring the unique way that I communicate, and that just because people are in a hurry or people don't have patience to sit there through a conversation with somebody, or they block themselves from being able to see another person's perspective because they're so fixed on the way that they see things and that they're right. That wasn't my problem, but it was my problem because I didn't see it within myself because I was fixed on the way I thought that I was supposed to talk. So there's that lesson. The other part of that lesson is don't change who you are to accommodate someone else and appease somebody else. It doesn't work that way. It's not our place to walk around and tell someone, you need to behave this way. You need to communicate this way so that it makes me feel more comfortable. Yes, we can have those conversations and, talk about somebody's trauma, talk about somebody's experiences, and understand them better. And then at that point, you get to choose how you move in that dynamic with that person. But you should never change the way that you communicate something to someone just because they don't understand. I can't tell you how many times I've had people say to me, I don't understand what you're saying to me, or you need to change the way you talk because people don't understand you. How do you know that I might say something to someone and in that moment, they're not going to understand it, but the seed was planted. And then a month from now, somebody says something else to them. And it creates this aha moment because that seed was planted back when I said something that they didn't understand at the time. Don't ever change who you are to make someone else feel better or to make someone else understand you better. If someone says to you, hey, can you explain this in a different way? That's one thing. But don't put somebody down for being different or talking the way that they talk or acting the way that they act. The biggest problem we have in this world is that people don't accept people for who they are. People are so busy trying to point fingers to make everybody around them act differently and be different so that they can feel better, so that they can move easier. Don't do that. Don't shrink yourself. You're unique in the way that you were made. It was how you were supposed to be made. It's why you came here. And the things that you are triggered by and the things that pop up are that you need to reflect inward about, that's the things that you came here to learn. That's the things that you came here to overcome. And when you do that, you evolve. That's the whole point of humanity. And I think we forget that. And I think that we are so busy. The reason we forget that is because we're so busy pointing fingers and saying, you need to change for me because I need to feel better. It starts from here. It starts within. Once you start to make those changes within yourself, it's going to start changing out in your environment around you. But it takes time. And we think in our mind, oh, well, this happened in front of me, so it's just confirming what I already feel inside of me. Well, that's because you already felt that way. And the reason that showed up was because you already felt that way. You get to change. You get to see things differently. But it's a choice. And that's the beauty. That's what we came here to have, that free will choice. People don't see it that way.